All right, so Ryan wanted to do this, and that's why we're filming this. He wants to react to the Goodreads Choice Awards. He wants in, but the twist is he literally knows nothing about 2023 releases. Like, literally nothing. And he wants to look at the list, so...
This is going to be the most unbiased reaction of all time.
It's going to be a lot of cover picks, guys. It's going to be a lot of cover picks. Maybe I'll let him adjust what I have voted for in real time. We'll see. Because you don't have a Goodreads, right?
No.
What's your relationship to Goodreads?
Sometimes I read a book and think to myself, well, that was a good read.
I've been trying to get Ryan to get a Goodreads for a while, and it is never...
I'm on Letterboxd.
He is on Letterboxd, everyone. He leaves his reviews on the Discord as well. All right, so we're going to click on the Goodreads Choice Awards, and I will then screenshot, and we will see what he thinks. Here is the screenshot. Ryan, what category would you like to look at first?
All right, let's get nonfiction out of the way.
All right, which nonfiction? Because I don't know if you know this, but there are 3 nonfiction categories. 4.
How about the one that's actually called nonfiction?
Well, you would think. All right, here's our nonfiction. I voted for this one because it had a pretty cover. But what are your thoughts initially?
Can you just show me everything? What's the slow scrolling?
I don't know.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
There's 20 books, so no, I cannot show you everything at once.
Goodness gracious.
They make it so I can show you like 8 at once.
All right.
This is about butts, though. The one
Yes,
with the peach.
Butts, a backstory, I would assume, is about butts.
Yes.
Be weird if it weren't.
But it has a peach on it, so who knows?
Well, that's what the emoji is. So I don't... Let me ask you this. Which is the saddest one? Which is the Oscar bait book?
I mean, Poverty by America doesn't sound... I mean, I don't know anything about these
I think Cobalt Red.
Oh,
How
no,
the
yeah,
Blood
never
of the
mind.
Congo Power. Yeah.
That's probably it, yeah.
I'm gonna pick Cobalt Red because that sounds the saddest, and that's where the...
We also have a Roxane Gay one. Very popular author.
Mm.
I mean, are we picking what you want to vote for, or picking what you think will win?
Isn't that the same?
For some people.
Isn't that how voting works?
Sometimes we know something will win and we still vote for something else.
Okay. So, I'm not writing in anything. Like, this is...
Yeah, okay. So, we have Opinions by Roxane Gay. I just picked this because I thought the cover was pretty.
Okay.
How Far the Light Reaches, I think it's about sea creatures.
All right, well, first of all, Monsters: A Fan's Dilemma has the best cover. Like, if you want to do that, you know...
So, which one has your vote?
Build the Life You Want has the Oprah bump, though.
Ooh. And to be quite honest, I know very little about a lot of these books, so I have no sense of what could win.
I'm gonna pick Cobalt Red.
Okay. All right, what category do you want to look at next? We have a whole range on the left-hand side.
Let's just keep going through the nonfiction categories first, because that's just gonna be the ones we all know the least about. So it feels like a good, like getting an understanding of what this actually is.
Well, here are your
through not knowing anything.
Best memoir and autobiography.
Oh, I like your pick.
Well, I think it's gonna win. Well, so I'll tell you why I picked what I picked after you take a look. So here's the top 8.
Oh, do your viewers not know who you picked?
Yeah, no, actually, when I reacted to this, I hadn't voted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so these are just my picks.
Oh, okay.
And I might still change something. We have 2 weeks to do it, so.
That's fun.
Yeah.
See, this was a good video idea. I don't know why you, just turned down every single idea I gave you.
That's very much not true, guys. It's really not.
My creativity is being stifled on this channel.
This is such a lie. Anyways, Ryan, what memoirs are speaking to you?
All right, well, obviously, it's Britney, bitch.
Uh-huh. And then...
can I say that on here?
Yeah, it's fine.
So, I feel like the Prince Harry one is actually going to win.
And then, this one's not going to win, but I do like Page Boy, which is, Elliot Page.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I do think it's between Spare and the Britney book.
Or actually, I think can you scroll back down?
Mm-hmm.
Dark Horse candidate might be Jill Duggar.
The
Duggar
true.
family. Because that is a...
It's messy.
That is a bad situation to get yourself out of.
Yeah.
So that might be a Dark Horse candidate, but I would like the Britney one to win.
I mean,
but I think Prince Harry is gonna win.
It's been out longer, but I feel like people have been more satisfied with the tea in the Britney one. A lot of people were not satisfied with the tea in Harry's. He was not giving the drama.
British people are very picky about the tea.
God, the jokes. Here is the history and biography section, which you think would just be nonfiction.
Is it not?
Well, it's not the nonfiction section.
Okay, but we just went through a nonfiction section that wasn't called nonfiction. I've moved on.
All right, well, I picked Black's AF.
Black as
I don't know if we could say that one or not, but
whoops.
That one I liked the title, and we're voting against the Elon Musk book. I think I know what's going to win.
The Elon Musk one, I feel like the Elon Musk has a 50-50 of winning, just because like I don't know how hard his supporters are gonna like raid the Goodreads votes.
I don't know. They actually disconnected before. Well, was it before or during Elon Musk taking over Twitter? It used to be if you were on Goodreads, it would post it on Twitter, but you can't do that anymore. But I don't know if that's actually one of the Musk things that have happened. Stay in frame. This is the frame. Okay. But I think I actually know what I think might win, and I'll tell you after you look at more books.
So this is historical biography. I think I've heard of When Crack Was King. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about it, but that's one I actually recognize. Wait. What are you trying
to read?
Bill O'Reilly made a... That Bill O'Reilly?
Yes.
I try to be like a nice bubbly boy on this channel, but Bill O'Reilly needs to keep Massachusetts' name out of his damn mouth. This is not the first time I've seen that man talk about Massachusetts.
All right. Well, what I think is going to win is The Wager.
Okay.
This is the same author that wrote Killing of the Flower Moon. And it won a Barnes & Noble award. So I think it has...
It got the BNN.
It just has some...
It got the Barney.
I don't know if you know this, but it's just name recognition for this. It's just name recognition.
Is that it for, like, everything?
Well, this is truly, like, popularity marketing contest. That's what the Goodreads Choice
Which is why I think, Musk might be a 50-50 winner.
Maybe. I feel like... There was someone on Twitter who was talking about it, because I think the Musk, like, movie biopic's going to be put in production. It just feels like it's too early to be writing about this guy. He still has so much to screw up. His story is very incomplete. You know? Like,
I mean, he's a well enough known entity for there to be a movie on him.
That's fair. All right, humor, which
I'm gonna pick When Crack Was King because it's the only one I've heard of.
Okay, humor. I think you'll like my pick.
Okay.
I think you'll like it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Ryan showed me the movie Airplane during the pandemic, and I noticed that it's actually, I think, just an audiobook of them just talking about...
The true story of Airplane. Yeah, that's a really fun behind-the-scenes thing about Airplane.
I thought that was good. Usually the humor section is, like, nonsense. Like, it's just, comedians writing their memoirs, and they're called humor, but they're...
Oh, David Mitchell did something.
Yeah. Yeah, you got Leslie Jones.
Yep. Z-Way.
Yeah. I almost voted for the World
Maria
Record Book
Bamford.
of Racist Stories. That one looked fun.
Henry Winkler.
Yeah. So yeah. I like the Sure, I'll Join Your Cult cover. I think that did a really good job there.
Can you scroll back up just so I...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything's been a complete shot in the dark for me. So, like... I'll give it to the unreliable narrator, Me, Myself, and Imposter Syndrome.
Oh. Okay.
And that's...
Do you know them?
Nope.
Oh, you just... Okay.
But it sounds like a humor book with a poignant message.
Okay. Well, I guess now...
And those tend to do well around awards time.
We'll find out. Let's go to fiction. So this is just what they deem as fiction. So I voted for this one because I'd heard good... So even if I haven't read books, I vote. I don't know if you've noticed. Because I don't care. But this one, I knew Elliot on her channel liked it. It seems to have been getting good buzz. So yeah. The only one I really knew in this list was Yellowface, because this is the author who did Babel and the Poppy War. And I know Ann Patchett because, Ann Patchett just writes a bunch of books. So, I don't know if you recognize any of these covers, have any thoughts on the marketing trends. I don't know.
I mean, fiction's such a broad genre that the marketing trends are all over the place.
I feel like, look at the Collected Regrets of Glover, Shark Heart, and Hello Beautiful. I feel like there are covers that are looking similar, like even Mommy. Pineapple Street, just based off the cover, and I don't know why, is the one I want to read the most, and I don't think that's a good enough reason.
Okay.
But I don't know what's about. Yeah, that's it for fiction. Do you have any thoughts? Oh, Kieran showed up. Sweet baby boy is here. He would like to roam. Oop!
He sure would.
Would like to roam.
Okay. I Big Swiss, what are you?
Sorry. Fiction's a weird category.
I'm literally just looking at like the one sentence, like guerrilla gardening group. Hell yeah! All right, Burnham Wood.
That's actually a very popular book, so I think it'll make the top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my pick based off the guerrilla gardening group.
Well, now you get to look at historical fiction, aka 50% World War II. I voted for the Isabel Allende because I love her books. Like, I read my first Isabel Allende last year, and it will not be my last. But here are some. Jesmyn Ward wrote Salvage the Bones, which is a really dark but good book.
Okay.
This is such a classic cover here. Like, this is so iconic. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
Just like girl walking.
Must be about war.
I think one of them that we thought was about war is actually about like abortion clinics in Canada.
Which in and itself is going through a war.
All right. Anything? Oh, I like this cat one. Northwoods. It's in New England.
I wasn't going to say it.
Oh, I read Wayward because I thought it was going to be for fantasy.
Mm.
It wasn't, apparently. It's witchy. But I didn't vote for it, even though it's the only one I've read.
Okay.
Because it was very okay. The Covenant of Water. It's a very pretty picture. So which one's your vote? You're doing great with the trackpad.
So is The Keeper of Hidden Books a book about books?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm picking that one.
And it's World War II? Okay. Madeline Martins. Now we're on to Mystery Thriller, where we both know equally as little. I voted for The Last Devil to Die because my friend Shannon liked that book. And I was like, cool.
Great name.
Yeah. Also, Richard Osman, that's like the third book in a series. He's generally pretty popular. So, what we got? Whoa, gosh, careful. This is a screen recording.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Have a working clicker.
What do you need to click? You can just...
Go down.
This is all you have to do to go down.
Wow. I don't believe you. You tricked me. The only one left looks like a Stephen King inspired book, so I'm gonna go that one.
What's really funny is Riley Sager is actually like the one most likely to win this, but he's actually like, he's not as prolific as Stephen King, but he's been very popular in the thriller space for years. But yeah, they've actually been liking this book. But I've also heard, I don't remember, I don't know anything about this category. Everything I know I just take from Mara. But I think there's another author on here who's more likely to win. Isn't this cover cute, though, the Vera Wong one? I think it's pretty. All right, ready for the romance section?
All
right. I voted for the one I read and that I liked. This is the one that
that's usually a good rubric.
Yeah. All right, what do you think about the covers of the romance books?
They're varied.
Really? They don't like have a type to you? They feel like they have a type to me. But anyways, what do you think's gonna win?
There's more pink than the other the other categories.
There is definitely more pink. There's a book called Pucking Around.
I see that.
Hockey romances have been kind of bigger than I anticipated lately. Don't know why. So what's your gut instinct? There is actually
These all have very samey names. These all have Hallmark movie names.
Oh, they're all yes.
All right. Which of these women have a very busy job in Boston that they don't want to do anymore, so they go to their family in Memphis?
I don't know the plots of these books, Ryan. I know who's going to win. There is actually only one right answer for this category.
I'm going to pick you again.
Okay, that's wrong. It's going to be Happy Place by Emily Henry.
Oh, okay.
Emily Henry has, let's see if I can make it. Yeah, over 500,000 people have read this book.
Oh, wow.
Now, for context, probably one of the next popular books is maybe Love Theoretically. That is only 200,000 people have read this book.
Wow.
Now, more people than who are on Goodreads have read it, but I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, but those people aren't voting.
Yeah. All right, next category is the new and controversial adjacent category, romantasy, which is romance. It's fantasy romance, which we've had forever, but they made a new TikTok word. So here we are. There's only one cover artist for all of these books. So, Fourth Wing's going to win. That's the one I read and I'm voted for.
Okay.
So remember how I showed you 500,000 for that one? This one's been read by almost 750,000 people.
Okay.
That's a lot of people.
Can I at least see the options?
Yes.
Oh, clearly Slaying the Vampire Conqueror.
That's what Mara voted for because she likes the campy cover.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've been trying to read the one next to it that's the same author, and I haven't been able to get into it.
That's the only one that actually looks like a romance novel.
Yeah, I don't disagree. The rest of them are hiding behind weird artifacts and odd paint choices. Look at these colors. This is also not a romance book. They just threw it in here for reasons. All right, are you ready for fantasy? My category, the one I'm spending the next couple weeks reading everything.
So this is the one you know the most about.
Correct.
Ooh, that's your pick, huh?
I think so. I go back and forth. We'll see. I might change it.
Didn't you just finish that?
I did a couple weeks ago, and I really liked it.
Nice.
But I've read 2 in this row.
Okay.
I read these 2, The Last Tale of Flowerbride and Day of Fallen Night. This book, Inkblood Sister Scribe, came out of nowhere for me. But I want to read it. Apparently it was in book boxes, but truly, I guess for context, The Last Tale of the Flower Bride has 15,000 readings. Day of Fallen Night, 20,000. So that's what you kind of need to be at to kind of be popular for this set category.
Okay.
And this one also has 20,000, and I've somehow missed it. So I want to read that one. I feel like you know this author.
Nope.
So he's the author who had the assassination attempt against him recently?
That doesn't mean I know him.
So he's a literary fiction author that got thrown in here. He kind of does magical realism, and he's been around for a while, so I don't know. He's not Kurt Vonnegut, but he's in that place of literary speculative work, so that's why I thought maybe you could have heard of him.
Okay.
I don't know. I think you might have maybe heard of one of his books more than him then. But this is decidedly not a fantasy cover, so I was very surprised that this is here. Because that's, no. In this row, I've read none of it. I am looking forward to reading Swordcatcher and none of the others. This is a Medusa retelling, if you couldn't tell. This row, I read Hellbent. I'm excited to read Bookshops and Bone Dust. I'm excited to read The Will of the Many. I'm not excited to read The Book That Wouldn't Burn. This book, I've read everything but this other Greek retelling. And then I'm reading the book on the left here. I've read Tress.
Yeah.
And I haven't read these 2.
Wow, so you're not picking the Sanderson.
It's so hard. I think I had more fun reading Hellbent. And here's the thing. So when I vote, it's a popularity contest, and so I'm trying, and there's 2 rounds of voting, and they don't reset your vote, so everything is cumulative. So it's if I vote for something just because I want to see if it'll make it to the top 10, but it doesn't win, or it doesn't even make it to the top 10, that I've kind of not used my vote efficiently. Is my logic. So I'm trying to think of the top 3 to 5 books, which ones do I actually want? And I do think Hellbent and Tress and V.E. Schwab, and maybe Cassandra Clare all are in contention for that. And my favorite of those, I think is Hellbent. I don't know. Tress. The further I get away from Tress, the less that I think that it's like a favorite that's sticking with me. Whereas Hellbent was like stupid fun for me. So I don't know.
Go down?
Only bad options.
I'm picking The Adventures of...
Amina El-Sarafi?
Yeah, that.
That's a good book. People really like that one.
That cover goes hard.
It does. It does.
This really is just judging a book by its cover, the video.
Yep. All right, and then we have
Which is what the voters are going to mostly do.
Yeah, and based off name recognition. So this is the science fiction category, or the lit fic that is sci-fi adjacent and sci-fi category. Because I don't know if
that's a very long category name.
I know, but like look at these two books here, The Great Transition and Land of Milk and Honey. Those are not sci-fi books. Those are lit fic books with sci-fi elements. Because you know how lit fic likes to do that. These two in the middle are actually sci-fi. Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune. I haven't read it, but it's like a Pinocchio retelling, but with droids. This one's one I read recently. It's like number 6 in a series. I think this is number 3 in a series. Can't remember.
I picked Bridge.
You pick Bridge. But I think you would actually like the Chain Gang All-Stars book.
I'm picking Bridge.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. This is the one I picked because look at that cover. It's an Aladdin retelling. So yeah, you don't need to see anything else. There's
Bridge.
There's a cat on a cover.
And it's John Scalzi though, so that might work.
You actually know John Scalzi?
Yeah, you pointed him out to me a lot of times at bookstores.
I guess because I think you might find him funny.
He has a lot of books.
So yeah, we have John Scalzi.
So he might win just on like name recognition.
Martha Wells is very popular. John Scalzi, Adrian Harakovsky, T.J. Klune.
This is such a weird award.
It is.
Thing because like. How could you, like, have time to read all these books and have an informed opinion on all of them? Like, you don't even know if they're going to be nominated, like...
And they don't even do it by numbers. It's not even, like, actual mathematical. You could look it up. There is some human factor.
This is all just a big farce.
Correct. You're welcome to YouTube. Now, the best list is coming up. This is actually the best one. Yeah, Putao, the best one. Putao is on the floor. I might change my vote because, again, part of me thinks Our Share of Night deserves it, but I don't think it's going to get enough to be competitive, so I might switch it to one that would be more competitive. But anyways.
What up, Putao?
Our Share of Night. Ryan's actually reading it right now very slowly. I can't tell if he likes it or not. But I loved it. So, Grady Hendrix, you read his...
Horror Store.
Yep. So you've read something by him. You've not read Sylvia Moreno Garcia, but she's fairly popular. I've just read Vampires of El Norte, but it's not a horror. It's a romance. Mons Julio?
Doesn't mean it won't win.
I think enough people... like, the Hacienda had a chance last year. I don't think this one does. Also, there's a Stephen King on the list.
Yeah.
I need you to look at that. There's a Stephen King on the list, so, you know. That's the thing. It's like, I want my vote to work against Stephen King effectively. Not that I dislike Stephen King, but, like...
You don't want him to win by default.
Correct. Well, he will, but, you know. Don't Fear the Reaper, I get tempted about. Like, maybe I'll vote for that just because I loved My Heart is a Chainsaw so much. Because this is the sequel. Oh, gosh, the cats are attacking ring lights. Oh, it's not even our kitten.
Putao.
Can you pick up our cat?
What's up, big guy? Oh.
All right. So, Putao has joined the chat. So, I might switch it to Don't Fear the Reaper just because... But it's a second book in a series, so it already doesn't have as much of a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I do love Our Share of Night. I might switch it to Lone Woman, because here's some other deep lore. So, there is book subscription boxes. Have you ever heard of any of those? Like, you ever get ads for them on YouTube or anything? So, Book of the Month is the big one. And actually, probably like 50% of all these books that you've been seeing have been in Book of the Month.
Mm-hmm.
And Lone Woman was. So, it has, like... enough people have seen it, so it might win.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might be at least in the top 5, so I might switch my vote to that because, you know, I really liked it. I bought myself a copy.
Okay.
I liked A House with Good Bones, but not more than I liked Lone Woman, so Lone Woman would get my vote over that. And then down here, we have The Reformatory, which I think you would really like. We should get a copy. It's a similar premise to Nickel Boys, but more horror. Which I know you like Nickel Boys. And then Rouge, and also Tananaridu is just like a great author. Rouge is by this author. Have you ever seen the book Bunny on Shelves?
No.
Okay, well, she writes just weird horror fic, weird fic. So yeah, what are your thoughts for this category? What would you like to pick This is by far the strongest category, and we also realize maybe horror is having a resurgence because everyone's dead inside.
I'm gonna go scroll down.
Mm-hmm.
Sisters of the Lost Nation.
I don't even know where that is. Sorry.
Very
this
last
one. Okay. I don't know anything about that, but it's a good cover.
Can you let's click on it. Let's see the one-line summary if it's what I suspect. Yeah.
Okay.
Indigenous horror.
Yeah, well,
those go hard.
They do. Do you need to see young adult?
Yeah.
Okay. This is young adult sci-fi fantasy. I don't think there's a sci-fi on the list. I voted for Song of Silver Flame Like Night.
Bring me your midnight. Oh, hey, Putao.
What? Oh, bring me your... I didn't even look at that title. Putao. I voted for the one I did because a lot of my friends have liked it, and it is apparently like a really solid book.
Okay.
I hate how long the title is.
All right, so 2 of them have swords or daggers.
3 swords.
3? 3 in a row? Okay.
Yep.
Let's keep going. Oh, is that a 4? There's another.
Another sword!
Keep going. How many swords we got?
That might be the rest of the swords.
Ye of little faith.
I think that's... Oh, I think Divine Rivals is winning this category, though.
Okay.
Because it's very popular.
All right.
This is the one I read when we were in Cartagena in March.
All right, I'm going to go scroll up.
This is a very popular author.
Delicious Monsters.
Delicious Wares. Wow, that's not winning, but cool. A cool pick. And now here's young adult fiction. So this is like everything else. Mystery, romance, thriller, contemporary. So there's going to be more variation in covers.
Yeah, significantly fewer knives.
Yeah. I voted for Warrior Girl Unearthed because it's a companion novel to... Oh, is it Firekeeper's Daughter? Which is really good, apparently. And I want to read both of those. But I think the Brothers Hawthorne might win.
Go up.
Mm-hmm.
Forget Me Not. Picking that one.
Where is that?
You just scrolled past it.
Okay. Don't know what that is, but to be fair, I don't know what any of these are.
Again, this is how people...
All right, well, last category. This is debut novel. You might see books you've seen before. I voted for Wayward here because I didn't realize it was a debut, and for a debut, it was pretty strong. Although I might change it because I saw a different author in this section. The Chain Gang All-Stars.
Now I have to remember what my picks are so I don't, like, make myself look like a fool for not picking it again. Go down.
You might not have picked any that were on this list.
I don't think so.
I don't think
No,
you did.
I didn't pick any of these.
Look at the Bandit Queens. So
All right.
cute. Putao, you are so adorable.
So because I didn't pick any of these, this is a weaker competition than all the other ones. By my entire, like, nothing. I keep my exoskeletons to myself.
Okay.
Because I don't think I've seen that in any other category.
All right. So, Ryan, what do you think of the Goodreads Choice Awards? Now, this is your first time seeing it.
I am whelmed.
I've also never told him any of the drama about it or anything. I just exist in my own bubble about it. Like, this year and last year, I, like, filmed and posted a video really quick, and he's like, what are you doing? But that's about it. He doesn't.
So here's the thing. Like, I took statistics in high school, and statistics are just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. So, like, you know, anybody can win.
That's no.
I'm sure somebody out there is gonna, like, start, like, whipping the votes for whatever book they want.
Well, I think also something that's harder to get my finger on, but I think if I were to have the demographics, I'd be more right on than not, is I think most Goodreads users are women, which is why, like, it's usually, like, certain book club groups or book boxes that women generally buy versus men. Like, men vote for this, but, like, even you look at the fantasy section, it's, like, a lot of them are, like, heavy themes of, like, feminism and anti-patriarchy and, like, at least especially the books that are not, like, high fantasy and stuff like that, that are, like, the Greek retellings. There's so many Greek retellings. Putao, you're so cute. But anyways, Ryan will not be reading the Goodreads.
I will read none of these.
He won't read none of them. While I suffer. All right. Let us know what you thought of Ryan's opinions about all this. Show the people Putao you're hiding him below camera.
He's so snug.
Here is a Putao. If you just want to leave an emoji to let us know you're here, what should they leave, Ryan?
Leave a good book.
That's not an emoji, but
there's no book emoji?
There is a book emoji, but not a good book.
Well, then, I don't know.
Alright, so a book emoji. And otherwise, like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.